Frequently unasked questions, pretty easily summarized or exemplified by an iceberg. Our frequently asked questions is how do we avoid that ice? The unasked questions are these areas of what can we not see, but we should still be aware of. Okay, so we think of them as information gaps. So the other kind of key pieces that as information providers, right, like the informers, we're not always clear on what people don't know to ask. So I always think of that, in movies, there's this trope of like, hey, are there any lions in that room? No, there's no lions. And you walk in and it's all dinosaurs. And they're like, oh my gosh, there's dinosaurs all over. Well, you didn't ask me if there are any dinosaurs. So it's like we know what to ask for, sort of. And as information providers, we know what to provide, sort of. But then there's all these kinds of places that are hard to see into. Okay. And I think of these as the frequently unasked questions. Anything we can't see, but that we should still be aware of. Now, for this presentation, I'll be thinking a lot and referencing a lot of study we've done on mid-career prospective students, people who are going back to school mid-career. So I'll get into all that, but as we go, but an example is like who pays. Frequently asked questions would be who's going to pay, how much does it cost to go back to school mid-career, what is the curriculum like, what I'll be able to do after I get my degree. Well, now this slide, my designer is going to be upset with me because I didn't have enough time to give her space to make changes to the slides. So this is this morning. This is my Saturday morning. It was such a delightful moment. But okay, so the unasked questions, caregiving obligations, work responsibilities, post-degree assumptions I may have as someone going back to school. So the what I'm trying to say is that yes, there very very much there are frequently unasked questions and frequently asked questions, but it's the frequently unasked questions that are affecting us as we're trying to implement or utilize some aspect of a website or for example, become get a degree. There are questions we don't necessarily know to ask or don't think to ask in the moment. And this is where this is where I'm taking us today on this conversation or in this presentation. But this is also where I believe we should be leaning into, especially in this era, guys, where the LLM knows everything already. Like they have all the data already. So where should we be for our audiences, right? And I think it's these places. It's helping them see into the future somewhat. So frequently unasked questions are made of gaps. There's probably more than 3. I'm sure there's more than 3. I don't necessarily know what they are. So this is the place that we are examining actively. But we think that they're in these 3 kind of main gaps. That's expertise. So very particularly we'd be for our mid-career students, we'd be enabling them to ask questions like, am I really genuinely setting myself up for success? What assumptions might I have? Because I haven't gotten an advanced degree yet, what assumptions might I have about my career path or what this degree will enable me to do, right? So where, again, where should this live? Is this a data point actually? Is this, how do we kind of bucket this or categorize this? Well, for I'm just going to say it's probably expertise or in some way related to experience or lack of experience that someone has and just doesn't know to ask. But it's still, again, vital for whether or not they're going to find success. Then very, very practically, we can think about gaps in hard knowledge, right? Like I just don't know. And so again, looking forward into kind of implementation phases or when someone is trying to actually accomplish a goal or a task or move ahead. Some of these this type of information could be things like for our prospective students, things like baseline competencies, right? Like what do I absolutely have to know on day one? And, you know, again, the kind of the success blocking assumption would be, you know, admission equals preparedness. Then one of my favorites, I get called on this a little bit periodically, but is the idea of a gap in empathy. All right. So very particular, and this is really what we dug into with our study that we did, but is this notion for, you know, within the realm of our prospective student, is that we're going to my stakeholders, my accomplices, my allies in this, you know, familial, workplace, they're going to be there for me all throughout the next 18 months of my reduced capability, right? Like I'm not going to be able to pick up the kids like I used to. I'm not going to be able to do overtime. I'm not going to be able to work on Saturdays, okay, and have these incredible presentations. But point is, this is a place where we could see people and websites kind of falling short in how they're enabling their audiences to really understand in many ways like a total cost of ownership or the impact on stakeholders of this kind of transition decision that they're in the midst of. Okay, so we got these three kind of key gaps. There's a fourth one further on, and just we're still, you know, architecting this really kind of finding our way forward.